watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here, and I have to tell you, I'm a super fan of these guys right here. Life-size models in the house. Welcome, guys.
Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
I'm
for having us.
so excited to have you on. I was introduced because I think for the very first time I was introduced to you guys, you had tagged me in something on Instagram.
That's probably right.
Yeah, he's like, yep. And so, I mean, to be honest, like, full transparency, I get tagged by a lot of bands, like a lot. And some of them are great, some of them are good, some of them, anyway, we won't go there. And some are fantastic. And you guys, like, as soon as I started listening, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. I'm amazed at your sound versus your age. When I heard you the first time, I was like, oh my God, these are my people. Like, it's like, you know, it brought nostalgia back to a time that was really important to me, like the 90s. And then I saw your faces and I was like, they're babies. What in the world? So number one, you have good parents. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So what developed your sound that sounds far more older and wiser? Not that you're not wise, but you know what I'm saying.
That's a good question. I'd say maybe it's just like, particularly Steven and I.
You're not seeing double, by the way. They are twins.
Yeah, at least from my point of view, yeah, I'd say Steven and I, we like grew up kind of like finding music that we really loved and then kind of like tracing it backwards to figure out, like, for example, like if we're speaking in the 90s, maybe like why Nirvana sounds the way they do.
Right.
And then you trace it back to the Pixies and you trace it back to like the Cars and keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
So then you kind of find like influences, and then those influences kind of like influenced us. So I like to like think that we sort of have like a pretty decent musical education just from being, you know, loving it and being interested in it. So
Yeah.
I think maybe that's
You can
where that
hear
comes
it.
from. Yeah.
You can hear it. Everyone you just mentioned, especially the Pixies, were the first ones that came out of my mouth
well,
whenever I heard you
great.
guys. Yeah, because as soon as I heard you, I had my husband listen. He's a musician. And he said Pixies, he said Husker Du. I said Screaming Trees. He said Nirvana. Like, there was that whole, like, put them all in a blender kind of thing. Oh. But what's great about you guys that really stuck out to me is you're none of those, though. Like, you're like, they sound like, but it's like a vibe. It's like totally different in your own way. So you've done a real good way of like taking all of those and being inspired by, but not mimicking.
Thank you. Yeah, that's something we like really try to do, right? We try to pride ourselves on not, we never ever talk about, hey, like, let's make this sound like this. Maybe we'll talk about like a part of the song sounding like a specific song from a band or something. But thank you for saying that, because we really do try to kind of like do our own thing and take all those influences and kind of just filter it through like
your lives, I guess, right?
Yeah,
your experiences.
We probably also have a lot of very different like people that influence us that we grew up listening to.
Yeah.
I know, just being the newest member of the band for about a year now,
I
can say probably a lot of what these guys listen to I don't, or like I haven't really. So I think that helps, just adding to that mix of
balancing it all out even.
Yes.
So who are your personal influences that you brought to
too
this
many. I don't even want to say they necessarily like reflect in like the music that we're playing.
Yeah.
I grew up probably listening to a lot of like blues and classic rock from like the 60s.
Huge
was probably my favorite,
fan.
like all the soul stack stuff. Also listened to a lot of punk in my younger days.
Okay.
And probably everything in between.
That's cool. How did you guys all come together? I mean, obviously you're related, but besides that,
we didn't have a choice.
From the womb.
Yeah.
But how did you all get together and meet and whatnot?
So I guess Chris Den is kind of the common factor here, at least for myself joining. We played in a band called Slow Load for a few years, and then that kind of ended, and I think you had joined these guys at that point.
Yeah, I think the guy that we played bass with in that band connected me with you guys.
Okay.
Who you now live with.
Yeah,
whose house we now rehearse
God,
at.
it's
It's like a small little
it is
Bay Area music scene world, I guess.
We talk about that, I swear, on every episode, at least a couple of times, about how small it is, and sometimes ancestral. Like, you know, bands have members that are in multiple other bands, and musicians can't get enough, basically, of playing and writing and all of that stuff. What is your writing process like for all of you guys?
I guess we can talk about, like, it's varied over the years. Like, for example, we have a song called Polar Nights, and that one actually came from Steven, and he wrote at least half of it, most of it, and then gave it to me. I went on a trip, and then I wrote the rest of it kind of like sent it back. So that was collaborative. We have a couple other songs that were collaborative. Sometimes Cusack. What do we do with Cusack?
We wrote that on a piano and guitar, and I don't think either of us play piano all that well yet. But
yeah.
It was kind of like, these are the chords, and
You kind of plucked it out a little bit.
And so that one came together that way.
That's cool.
Yeah, or I'll come up with like maybe the core of the song and then bring it to the band, and then we'll kind of each build our part. But
okay, yeah.
most of the time I feel like it's really effective when we don't like. Even if we have written parts with other people in the band at other times, it's nice to like just bring stuff to people and then see what happens.
Mm-hmm. How they put their spin on it, kind of. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the thing you were talking about earlier with the different influences, or like you don't quite sound like anybody specifically.
Yeah.
Which
is a great thing.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
You don't want to be just a knockoff version of whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. So then everybody kind of gets to like, this is my thing. This is my part of the thing, and then it becomes something that's us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Are you interested to hear what songs grab people?
Oh yeah.
Thin Skinned grabbed me.
Okay.
That song I was running.
Okay.
I was running. I don't know if you saw my tags on Instagram.
Yes, I did. I was going to say thank you for tagging us.
Well, I like, there's so many ways to support local bands, and one of them is to share on social, right? When you love a band, tell people about it. So I was like, oh my God, I'm like trying to run and I'm taking screenshots like of my phone. love this one. And Thin Skin really grabbed me. Obviously Bayshore Freeway. What a phenomenal song. We'll get to that in a second. But also your Springsteen cover. Oh my God. I'm on fire, and they did it live at Art Boutique. You released a whole album live, which, hello, Ballsy. That's amazing. You guys are such a great live band. Not every band can do that. So why did you decide to do a whole live album like that?
Defer to you guys since I wasn't on that.
You were, you're like, that was before my time.
I can say a little about that. So actually the live album, so we were originally going to be playing another show, and then the show kind of dropped off and didn't end up happening. So we're like, hey, we have all these fans that want to see us play a live show, and we promised this. We promised them like, hey, we're gonna record a live show, we're gonna do an album, and so we ended up going to Art Boutique for the live album. And we ended up having one of our old guitar players who's really into mixing audio and actually does his own thing called Silvercat Sound Labs.
Oh, okay.
He ended up mixing that whole record.
Wow.
So it was kind of DIY, but it turned out really fantastic.
It turned out phenomenal. Yeah, it's great.
He's definitely got an ear for mixing audio. So
my husband's a musician, and I played that with the Springsteen cover first off of that, and he didn't realize it was live for a minute. And when I was like, "This is live," he was like, "Oh shit, okay." No, it's done really, really well. But like I said, that's taking a leap of faith. There's not a whole lot of fixing. You can't fix any, not just everything whenever you go live. So it's a very good energy it brings.
I will say there's a lot of mistakes on that record, but that's okay though.
The raw energy, that's what's so great about it though.
Yeah.
Why did you pick that song from Springsteen? Because it like stopped me in my path, literally, as I was running. It stopped me. I was like, whoa. That's great.
We're having such a hard time.
You are. It's very hard. Just after I got used to you guys, I know. No, after I got used to you guys, you're like beats per minute, and my little feet match up. Which
that's how
great.
We start writing. Typically, we take like beats per minutes, and then we go from there.
Yeah. Well, we match up very well.
Excellent.
Yeah, but the Springsteen I thought was a really cool choice.
I don't even remember why we.
I think I chose it because I was like really listening to a lot of Springsteen, and like I wanted to do like Atlantic City or something like that. But I just there's like already live versions of that song, I guess, and so like Bruce Springsteen does really well. And then all the covers of I'm on Fire that we heard were kind of like I don't want to say like replicas of the original one, but they're all very like quiet, and they all have the same kind of like arrangement feel.
Right.
Yeah, and so I was thinking like it always felt like it was too short to me, the song. And I just like want more and more.
You want more, yeah, of course.
Yeah. And we never really got that in any of the other covers that I've heard. And so we thought, okay, like it was kind of just a natural thing. Like I was listening to it, and I kind of started playing that like riff from the song.
Right.
And then we had the vision of like, what if we did this sort of like more anthemic version, but try to keep it to where it's not going to get cheesy.
Yeah,
because that's like there's a fine line.
Right, exactly. You do it very, very well. As you can tell, I'm kind of a super fan. Bayshore Freeway. Let's talk about that. Is a monster song. That's like hello radio hit. Like it's so well written. It's nostalgic. If you're from the Bay, the Bayshore Freeway is a 101. I'm a traffic reporter as well. I don't know if you know that, but I talk about the Bayshore Freeway. Yeah, I talk about your song daily. 101 from the South Bay all the way into San Francisco. So what was the inspiration behind that song, that freeway? What does that mean to you guys? It's the perfect driving song for obvious reasons.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the praise. I think for that particular song, it started off kind of like written with like a friend of mine. And so it's kind of changed over the years. But it's always kind of remained consistent because that was the first song that I kind of co-wrote with somebody.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so that's always been, and I've played it I think at every show.
Yeah.
Since because it just always feels good and always just kind of
gets a huge response, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's always felt really good, and so it reminds me every time that we play it that I think, as I was kind of talking about earlier, the collaboration aspect of it. You kind of get stuff that you would never get if it was just me doing stuff or just anybody else doing stuff, right? So.
Right.
Now I think it's sort of transformed into being released now, recorded now, into the version it is now. It's representative of all of our like travels kind of up and down the Bayshore Freeway because we live so far apart. I don't know if we covered that already, but
no.
Like San Jose, San Mateo, Oakland.
Oh God bless. Where do you rehearse?
Practice twice a week. Normally at my house in San Jose at the moment.
Okay. Wow.
Because I have a garage and a music-friendly house, and
yeah.
Been a while since the neighbors have called the cops, so we've been able. But if we're not there, we also have a space in Oakland that we're able to use as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Green Room Music Center right here, Pacifica is kind of in the middle of all you guys.
Yeah,
we have 24 lockout rooms across the hall, so feel free to give me a call.
That sounds good.
We're in a pinch.
Yeah, a little ad for Green Room Music Center. Yeah. So yeah, you guys just released recently the video for Bayshore Freeway. What's next? Like where are we headed next?
So are we able to?
Yeah, I think so.
Breaking news.
Yeah. I was about to say the whole time I'm like, oh, she's gonna love this. So I'm on fire. Is one we're gonna do that with Cusack.
Oh my God, really?
Do like a little combination.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like an A/B side.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, good.
So I figured it'd be nice to.
Oh, dude, that's a great idea. So when will that be released? Do we know?
We're planning mid-April right now.
Oh, soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We don't even have to wait for that.
Yeah,
so exciting.
We're just working on mastering right now for both of them, so we're almost there, and then we'll be able to kind of queue up our release plan for mid-April or so.
That's awesome. Well, I will keep spreading the good word. Honestly, you guys are really very talented.
Thank you so
I
much.
immediately, my niece came over a couple days ago and I was like, okay, I got a band for you. And she immediately texted me that night. She's like, dude, you were right. And Thin Skin was actually her favorite song too. So Lila, look who I got to meet.
Yeah. Work on that one again.
Yeah. She's going to be a forever fan of yours. So
that's great.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys are onto big things. So congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Yeah,
It's
of
been a
course.
pleasure.
All right, you guys, look them up. Life-size models across the board on social, right?
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes. Life size models with 2 S's on the end on Instagram. Life size models on YouTube. Yeah.
They're pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
Thank you for tagging me.
Oh, thank you.
It
Thank
worked.
you. So here we are.
Yeah, right. Here you are. All right, you guys, we'll be right back. You're watching Soundwaves TV.